15 days, 15 videos, no strategy, no plan, and no idea what I'm doing. But here's what's actually happened. Welcome back. I'm Adrienne. Today is day 16 of me posting every day for 30 days to kick off my content creator journey. Today, I just wanted to give you an update of my halfway point. Still moving forward without a strategy. Good things are still happening. The world hasn't ended. I've not died of complete mortification. So first I'm going to share about the emotional roller coaster of it all, and then I'll hop into the analytics. So, week one, I did a video. I did a two-part video about the week one update. So I'm just going to do a quick recap here. But that was just a lot of like survival mode, I guess. I was running on pure adrenaline. I pushed through the anxiety and just let myself hit record. And once I did that, the excitement just started building. I started going to bed and waking up really excited to film. Um, the momentum kept going. By day four, I was just like completely overwhelmed with gratitude with the amount of support I was getting from the people who were subscribing and commenting. And I just started to feel more and more comfortable to the point that people were commenting that they could see how much more comfortable I was feeling. And all in all, it ended up just not being half as bad as what I'd built it up to be in my head. Now week two was a bit of a different story. If I'm being honest, it was a little harder. In that, like, whereas week one, I was running off of like adrenaline and excitement, week two is where I really had to lean into discipline, to keep going. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this challenge is to flex my discipline muscle and just get better at being more consistent with everything, not just posting on YouTube. So at the beginning of the week, it started becoming very evident that we are co-creating community here, a wonderful community of women who are in or entering midlife, who are at a significant turning point, like myself, what I like to call the midlife glow up. But the community really is starting to feel real. And it's like, I feel like it's not just subscribers that are here, but there's women, human beings, watching these videos and nodding along, resonating with the things that I'm saying because they're experiencing they're experiencing the same things themselves. Um, I definitely started feeling less anxious about recording, but like some anxiety started coming up about like the topics I wanted to talk about, like feeling afraid that I was going to run out of ideas, which is crazy because I'm a yapper and I got things to talk about. Um, and even though I was feeling a little anxious about that, I actually was just getting so many creative downloads. Ideas have just been firing off. I mean, even one night I had to get out of my bed to go like write stuff down. I had fully formed, um, ideas for videos that I wanted to do. So that's really not anything to worry about. And even the days where I didn't feel like I knew what I wanted to talk about. Something still always came up, or I decided to just talk about what was happening in the day. And that actually felt very natural, to just share whatever was happening that day. And people ended up actually really like resonating with it. And and actually like I was about to start my period and my energy was really low, and the days that I was probably feeling the worst or having the lowest energy, actually I feel like started to be like some of my most authentic content. So I don't know. So that's something to pay attention to, I guess. I kind of see like a creative process emerging as too new to share. But it's something that feels good and that I feel like can be duplicated once I nail it down. And it's just another argument for starting without a plan. Like, I couldn't have thought this up ahead of time. I may have been able to figure out something that sounded like it might feel good, but I'm realizing that it's really something that had to emerge along the way, not pre-planned. As I mentioned, I was like kind of in my PMS slump last week and I was not feeling my best. I was not feeling very sociable. I was not feeling the most motivated. But I showed up anyway. Usually I do like the bare minimum when I feel like that. And this is important to me, so I did end up showing up. It took some self-convincing. But I did. And again, like I said, I was talking about what was actually happening, and every time I felt worse, I made something that like connected with others still. So I'm happy with that. Um, Part of the PMS slump was allowing myself to get discouraged about my analytics kind of dipping toward like I would say the beginning to midweek. Even though I know it's normal, even though I know that I'm not concerned about my analytics right now. And fortunately, I was able to snap myself out of it by reminding myself that my mission right now is to post every day and not worry about the analytics. So overall, I mean, after 2 weeks, I still had no bad comments. Just that one annoying one from week one. I'm still having so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun, actually. I'm getting more excited. I'm getting more ideas about content here and other platforms. I'm starting to get more ideas about how I can move more strategically in the future while still maintaining authenticity. The community is growing. The algorithm found my people and continues to, all without me strategizing or targeting anyone. And I'm just feeling really energized by letting myself do this. The energy boost from the from the excitement and the confidence building, it's really just helping me feel so much more excited to jump into the next scary thing. So, I'm also feeling really good about just having a space to express myself. Like I said, I'm doing this first and foremost for myself, and hopefully, a byproduct of that is it finding someone who needs to hear something that I'm sharing that's helpful to them. Um, but yeah, I mean, if this is what's happening so far without any strategy, then I can only imagine the possibilities for when I do get more strategic. So I'm excited to keep going. Halfway there. A couple things I did differently this past week, from week one, not too much, but day 9, I did share on Threads about my channel. Just, I don't really know how to use Threads, but I just shared just to see what happened. Um, and it didn't really get a lot of traction, but I think one of the videos I shared on there was is like my best performer so far. So even though it didn't get a lot of traction, I feel like I did get some views from there. And I also ditched my 8-minute minimum, which was part of the criteria that I made for myself for this 30-day challenge, was to create videos that were at least 8 minutes long. And the main reason for that was just because when you get monetized, in order to have YouTube place ads in your videos, they have to be at least 8 minutes long. And I just let go of it because I just want to let things flow. And I was feeling pressured to keep talking longer than I needed to. Like I had a few videos that were just shy of 8 minutes, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna not count these. And then I had a 5-minute video one day, and it only needed to be 5 minutes. So I don't want to force myself to just talk when I'm done saying what I have to say, so I'm gonna let things just flow from there. Okay, and now I'm gonna jump into the numbers. Again, I'm not concerned about analytics right now, and I'm mainly sharing this to you because if you are a nerd like me, you probably love data. I love hard facts, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can do to convince you that you need to start your channel even if you're not ready. So let's hop in. The views. Okay, my views increased by 54%. and my watch time increased by 70%. So the watch time grew faster than the views, which means that people who are finding me are staying longer. And I attribute that directly to me just getting more comfortable and kind of starting to find my voice a little bit. I got 10,000 impressions, which is how many people that YouTube pushed my content out to. So YouTube pushed my content to 10,000 people with zero promotion. Well, not zero, like that one Threads post that I made that I think got like 38 views. So, so yeah, so basically with no promotion, 10,000 people still had my content pushed out to them. My retention rate increased from 5.5% to 5.7%, which the retention rate is how long people stay in your video watching. Um, and if you remember from the week one video, the industry average, I believe, is like 2 to 10%, and new channels tend to start on the lower end. So starting at 5.5% was actually great, especially considering I'm not using any kind of strategy and it's increasing. So that's good. And my audience has held firm. The audience insight showed still 100% women between the ages of 35 to 54. This number did not even change by 1%, which is great because that means the algorithm is sending this to the people that I am talking to. The right people are still finding me without a strategy again. So that's amazing. The main analytic that like kind of caused me to almost crash out um last week was my subscriber count. And again, I had to remind myself that I'm not supposed to be concerned with this right now. But I think it's only natural to like look at the analytics and pay attention, but also because of my PMS, I just kind of let it like get to me a little bit. Um, Week one, I got 57 subscribers, and week two, I got 6 subscribers. And I feel like that happened more at the beginning of the week. And so I've not had any new subscribers in probably almost a week now. Um, but what I did learn is that this is normal and that YouTube generally does what is called a novelty push, where it gives new channels like a kind of like a discovery boost, like on their first few videos to help them find their audience and just kind of test. And so that's kind of where that came from, the 57 subscribers, which is still great, but it definitely shows me that starting with week two, this is probably more of a baseline for me to work from. And I mentioned before that I use AI to help analyze my data, and I like doing this because it's able to identify patterns that I can't see on my own. So while I was feeling discouraged over my subscriber count slowing down so much, AI pointed out that even though my subscription count has slowed down so dramatically, my watch time had increased 18% from 46% to 64%. And what also happened was that in week one, the majority of my watch time came from non-subscribers. And in week two, that completely flip-flopped to the majority of my watch time coming from subscribers, which means that the people who are here are watching more. And to me, that's not a failure. That is loyalty and trust and community starting to build. So that totally reframed for me feeling like something was wrong because I went from having 57 subscribers in one week to 6 the next week, and really just helped me kind of fully release the attachment to that. So again, 63 women chose to be here, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for your support. As far as traffic, the majority of my traffic has come from the browse feature, which is, basically when you open up your YouTube and different suggested videos come up or suggestions after a video. It's what YouTube's algorithm suggests to you based on your watch history. And then only 0.9% of views have come from people searching for topics that I was talking about that led to me. What's so interesting about this is that even though the search feature was like not way, 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 way smaller percentage of the people through the browse feature, the watch time average for people who found me through search was almost double that of the browse traffic people. So what that tells me is that when somebody searches for my topic and finds me, that they're staying. And so it means there are more of my people out there and they just haven't found me yet. And that's a discovery problem, not a content problem, and it's a problem that can be fixed when I start strategizing more. Something else I found interesting was my channel page click-through rate, and these are the people who are already on my channel, maybe watch a video and then click another video. It was 11.8%, and that just tells me that I'm creating a library of content that's building value and people are engaging. So that's good. That makes me feel good. And I just want to keep on continuing doing this. Like I mentioned before, the standout performer so far was the what data says about starting before you're ready. That was the part two of the week one update, and that had 15.5% click-through rate. So that tells me that there's a ton of you out there like myself who want to start a YouTube channel, but for one reason or another are not letting yourself do it. So I'm going to keep on sharing what I'm learning and keep on sharing this process. And hopefully, I will be able to convince you guys to take the big leap because let me tell you, it's changing my life. But overall, yeah, starting with the strategy still has not hurt my conversion. The funnel looks normal. The click-through rate is healthy. I am starting to see that some titles are pulling, better analytics than others, and that's something to keep in mind and pay more attention to going forward. But again, something that I can address when I do start moving with more of a strategy, but it's not what I'm concerned about right now. Coming up next is like, okay, I made it through the challenge of being on my period and getting through my low energy and my bad feeling days. And this week presents a whole new challenge because I'm traveling Wednesday through Saturday. And so I'm trying to figure out what keeping up with this challenge is going to look like. But I'm going to do whatever I can to stay consistent. Otherwise, I'm just planning to keep moving intuitively until April. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing some research on the side, keep learning, keep sharing. I'll be busy in my reselling business when I get back from my trip, so I might be sharing more about that. And still looking into getting the community feature here going so that we all can interact a bit more. So, and then I'll do my next formal update at the end of the challenge. So, in 2 weeks. So just thanks again to everyone who has been here, who's shown up and keeps coming back. Like to any of you who are still just thinking about starting your channel, keep following. I really, really, really am determined to um to convince you that it's the right thing to do. So, like I said, 15 days, no strategy, no plan. The right people showed up. Yours will too, like, I promise. So let me know in the comments, what kind of stuff you guys wanna see in the next, couple weeks, and, give this video a like if it has gotten you one step closer to starting your channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and I will see you tomorrow for day 17. Bye.